won American Idol in front of millions, but only after the camera stopped rolling did Jamal Roberts finally confirm the secret fans had suspected all along. The rise nobody saw coming. Jamal Roberts, a name that until recently sounded unfamiliar to most Americans, has now become the centerpiece of countless headlines and fan discussions across the country. Born in Meridian, Mississippi, Jamal's beginnings were anything but glamorous. He worked as a physical education teacher, balancing the demands of his job with the responsibility of raising his 3 young daughters. For years, his passion for music simmered quietly in the background of his everyday life, expressed only in small performances at church and in local gatherings. But everything changed when he decided to take another shot at American Idol. What makes his story remarkable is not just his victory, but the long road of rejection he endured before that moment. Twice before, Jamal had auditioned for the show, only to be sent home early, each time facing the sting of disappointment that might have broken the spirit of others. Yet Jamal refused to let failure define him. His resilience set the stage for one of the most unexpected rises in recent memory. When he reappeared for season 23, few could have predicted that this ordinary man from Mississippi would go on to win the entire competition. But as his audition aired, showcasing not just raw vocal power but an emotional depth few contestants could match, the tide began to turn. And while viewers were moved, what happened next would make Jamal's journey truly unforgettable. The breakthrough and turning point. If Jamal's audition introduced him as a contender, it was his now legendary performance of Tom Odell's Heel that transformed him into a frontrunner and left both the judges and audience stunned. Delivered with a raw sincerity that seemed to pour straight from his own life experiences, Jamal did something bold. He added an original third verse to the song, weaving in lyrics that spoke of resilience, faith, and the pain of carrying burdens unseen by others. For a moment, the studio fell silent, as though the entire production had been caught off guard by the emotional weight of his delivery. Social media lit up instantly, with clips of the performance going viral across TikTok and Twitter, garnering millions of views within hours. Viewers weren't just applauding a singer, they were rallying around a man whose authenticity broke through the screen. This was the moment many now point to as the turning point in Jamal's journey. From that night forward, he wasn't just another contestant chasing a dream, he had become a symbol of hope for everyday people watching at home. Judges who had once been skeptical leaned in with newfound respect, and fans began to speak of him not as an underdog but as a likely champion. The judges' panel, often accused of being critical or detached, appeared visibly shaken, with even the toughest critiques softening in the aftermath of that performance. But while Jamal's star was undeniably on the rise, whispers backstage hinted that not everyone was celebrating his sudden momentum. And as the competition intensified, so did the rumors that would soon engulf his time on the Idol stage. Rumors, controversies, and tensions. As Jamal's popularity soared, so too did the chatter behind the scenes, with rumors swirling that not everyone on the American Idol stage was thrilled about his meteoric rise. Fans began dissecting every judge's reaction, and one name repeatedly came up in online debates: Carrie Underwood. Known for her sharp critiques and commanding presence, Carrie was rumored to be less than enthusiastic about Jamal's performances. Clips circulated online showing her remaining seated while other judges gave standing ovations, her expression scrutinized frame by eagle-eyed viewers who claimed she appeared distant or even dismissive. Some argued this was merely a case of camera angles and timing, but the perception stuck: Carrie and Jamal were not on the same page. Social media amplified the speculation, with hashtags like #ColdCarrie and #StandUpForJamal trending during key episodes. Behind the scenes, whispers suggested producers were uneasy, worried that the tension might overshadow the competition itself. While nothing was ever confirmed during the season, the debate fueled headlines and kept Jamal in the spotlight for reasons beyond his music. Interestingly, far from derailing him, the controversy seemed to strengthen his fanbase, with supporters rallying even harder in his defense. For them, Jamal was not just singing songs, he was battling against an industry machine that didn't always welcome outsiders. But as the rumors intensified, fans couldn't help but wonder, would Jamal ever break his silence and address the speculation directly? That answer, as it turned out, would come after the season ended, when he finally decided to confirm what many had long suspected. The confirmation, what he finally admitted. When the camera stopped rolling and the confetti of his victory settled, Jamal Roberts finally decided to speak openly about the whispers that had followed him throughout the season. In a candid post-win interview, he admitted what many fans had long suspected: there was tension with Carrie Underwood during the competition. With measured words, Jamal explained that while he deeply respected Carrie's achievements, there were moments when he felt her feedback leaned more toward discouragement than guidance. He stopped short of calling it hostility, instead framing it as a difference in energy that made his journey more challenging. His confirmation sent shockwaves across Idol's fanbase. For weeks, audiences had argued about whether Carrie's seemingly cold reactions were real or just misinterpreted moments, and now Jamal himself had validated the speculation. Yet he also chose to rise above the controversy, emphasizing that the pressure only pushed him to work harder and prove himself. He described how each critique, no matter how sharp, became fuel for his determination to deliver better performances. Fans applauded his honesty, praising him for addressing the elephant in the room without bitterness. By confirming the rumors but choosing not to escalate them into personal attacks, Jamal demonstrated the same maturity and humility that had endeared him to millions throughout the season. But his revelation also reignited the debate. If even a winner could feel resistance from within the Idol machine, what did that say about the show itself? The answer would become clearer as reactions began pouring in from fans, critics, and even fellow contestants. Fallout and reactions. The moment Jamal confirmed his uneasy dynamic with Carrie Underwood, the response was immediate and explosive. Social media platforms became battlegrounds for heated debates. Some fans defended Carrie, arguing that her role as a judge demanded higher standards and tougher critiques, while others insisted her behavior revealed an unspoken bias against Jamal. Twitter threads stretched for miles, Instagram comment sections turned into mini-forums, and YouTube reaction videos broke down every eyebrow raise and pause from Carrie throughout the season. Fellow contestants quietly weighed in too. Some praised Jamal's bravery for speaking his truth, while others avoided the subject entirely, likely wary of jeopardizing industry relationships. Media outlets capitalized on the drama, with headlines declaring a rift exposed at American Idol. Even mainstream entertainment shows couldn't resist replaying clips of Carrie's subdued reactions alongside Jamal's soaring performances. Meanwhile, Jamal's fanbase only grew more devoted. They rallied around him with the kind of passion rarely seen since Idol's early years, treating him as both a champion and a survivor of the show's internal politics. In contrast, Carrie remained tight-lipped, neither confirming nor denying his statements, a silence that only fueled further speculation. Producers, too, seemed eager to move the narrative back to Jamal's music, releasing his debut single, Mississippi, sooner than expected to redirect attention toward his artistry. Yet, for many, the controversy had already overshadowed the launch of his career, raising difficult questions about whether Jamal's legacy would be defined more by his music or by the conflict he had finally dared to confirm. But as the storm raged on, one question lingered above all others: what would Jamal do next? And could he turn this turbulent moment into lasting success? What comes next? Risks, opportunities, unanswered questions. With the dust of controversy still hanging in the air, Jamal Roberts now stands at a crossroads that could define the rest of his career. On one side lies opportunity. His post-win single, Mississippi, has already struck a chord with fans who connect deeply with his authenticity and Southern roots, giving him a strong foundation to launch a full album. Industry insiders suggest labels are circling, eager to mold him into a crossover star who can dominate both country and pop charts, a rare trajectory for any American Idol alum. Yet with opportunity comes risk. The Idol machine has a long history of winners fading into obscurity once the spotlight shifts, and critics warn that Jamal must act quickly to carve his own path rather than relying on the show's momentum. The lingering whispers about Carrie Underwood could also prove a double-edged sword. While the drama has boosted his visibility, it could alienate him from certain industry circles where Carrie's influence looms large. Beyond career logistics, there's the personal challenge of balancing fame with fatherhood. With 3 daughters looking up to him, Jamal faces the delicate task of protecting his family from the glare of public scrutiny while still delivering the music fans now expect. For every headline about conflict, there's also a growing demand for answers. Will Jamal's story be one of resilience turned into long-term success, or will he be another Idol winner whose flame burns out too soon? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: The confirmation he gave has rewritten the narrative, ensuring that whatever he does next will be watched with a mix of hope, curiosity, and relentless speculation. Jamal Roberts' journey from an overlooked PE teacher in Mississippi to the newest champion of American Idol is already the stuff of legend, but it's the revelation he finally confirmed that has etched his name into headlines beyond the music charts. By admitting that the tension fans suspected with Carrie Underwood was real, Jamal pulled back the curtain on the reality behind reality TV, exposing the cracks in a system long believed to be polished and untouchable. Yet rather than let the controversy consume him, he chose honesty without bitterness, turning a potential scandal into a testament of his resilience. Fans see him not just as a singer but as a man who fought against odds both on stage and off, winning not only a title but the trust of millions who craved authenticity. Still, questions remain. Can he transform the drama into a long-lasting career, or will his legacy be overshadowed by the very controversy he confirmed? That uncertainty is what keeps his story alive, sparking conversations in living rooms, online forums, and media outlets around the world. And perhaps that's the ultimate twist. Jamal Roberts didn't just win a competition, he forced all of us to reconsider what winning truly means in the unforgiving spotlight of fame.